This study aims to establish correlations between the Amarna Letters and biblical events, emphasizing the parallels between ancient texts and biblical narratives. By examining the Hebrew-Aramean battles led by Joab and the struggles described in Amarna Letter 364, where a ruler named Ayab wages war against Hazor, this research highlights potential overlaps in key figures, regions, and events. According to the biblical account in the book of 2 Samuel chapter 10, Joab initially faced a two-front battle against the forces of Hanun, son of Nahash, the Ammonite front and the Aramean front. Joab, understanding the strategic complexity of this situation, divided the forces, taking command of one group while assigning the other to his brother Abishai. Joab led the fight against the Arameans, while Abishai was entrusted with confronting the Ammonites of Hanun. Their coordinated strategy led to a successful defense, forcing the Arameans to flee. The words of Joab to his brother are recorded in the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 10, verse 13, as it reads,
O Abishai, if the Arameans are too strong for me, then you are to come to my rescue. But if the Ammonites are too strong for you, then I will come to rescue you.
The name of the biblical character Abishai shares linguistic similarities with a military leader called Abdashirta, mentioned in Amarna Letters 60-62, which he himself sent to the king of Egypt. Although the names Abishai and Abdashirta are phonetically similar, they are very different etymologically. After all, it would be extremely problematic from the theological perspective for the Bible to present an ally of King David named as servant of goddess Ashtaroth, since this deity is openly confronted in other parts of the Bible. Instead of the roots Abdi, meaning servant, and Ashirta, meaning Ashtaroth, we got the non-theophoric hypochorism of father's gift from the roots Ab, meaning father, and Shai, meaning gift. Much stronger argument than the onomastics of the names Abdashirta and Abishai are the similarities of the deeds of both men. The Amarna letter describes Abdashirta as a powerful leader who garrisoned in the region of Amurru by immediately taking control of the city of Sumer, modern-day Tel Kazil. There are letters from Abdashirta to the Pharaoh of Egypt trying to explain the reason for his attack. The letter number 62 reads,
O Pharaoh, why do you speak mean of me, my lord? Why do you speak like this? You are an enemy of Egypt, and you committed a crime against Egyptians.
He tries to explain to Pharaoh in the Amarna letter number 61 that he conquered Sumer to rescue Egyptian officials.
There were only 4 men that had stayed in the palace of Sumer, and they said to me, Save us from the hand of the troops of Sehlal.
Despite the best effort from Abdashirta, the Pharaoh did not believe his good intentions. It was the words from ruler of Byblos that revealed his alliance to the Canaanite rebels called Habiru that this study equates to the Hebrews. This is especially true for Amarna letter number 73. Unlike the typical pejorative use of the term Habiru to denote a lower class of criminals, Abdashirta employs it with a sense of identity.
All the mayors long for this to be done with Abdashirta, since he sent a message to the men of Amia, saying, Kill your lord and join the Habiru.
In the Bible, Abishai, Ayab, and other valiant figures were known as the mighty warriors, renowned for their extraordinary feats of bravery. Placed within the historical context of the Amarna letters, David's mighty warriors and other allied rulers could be seen as regional leaders who initially swore allegiance to Pharaoh, but later pledged sincere loyalty to a Habiru central command. This command is suggested here to be led by Tagi in Jerusalem, based on previous biblical parallels to David's conquest. This possibility can be further explored by examining all the territories between Ayab's initial confrontation in Hazor and the lands conquered by Abd-Ashirta in Amurru. Within this region, a corridor of Habiru allied leaders emerges, linking these 2 points. Notable figures in this network include Arasa Ilu of Kumidu, Arzawuya of Ruhiza, Atakama of Kadesh, Tawadi of Hamath, and many others. The identification of these local rulers from the Amarna period with the mighty warriors and allied kings from David's time will be further explored throughout this series. For now, once the identification with the biblical Abishai is made, it reveals how deep into Aramean territory the Hebrew forces were, having advanced far enough to be garrisoned in the city of Sumer in Amurru land. The next chapter will highlight how the identification of Abdashirta as Abishai provides a more comprehensive view of the political upheaval in the region and reinforces the parallels between the biblical and Amarna narratives. Central to this discussion are the escalating complaints from Ribhada, the king of Byblos, who warned the Pharaoh about Abdashirta's expanding power and the devastating impact of the Habiru forces. His letters detail the loss of key cities and local leaders, who either defected or were conquered, illustrating the strategic reach of David's campaigns and their lasting influence on the balance of power in the ancient Near East.